Hey, hey, hey. Welcome to my channel. My name is Emmie from Emmie Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. This is not your first time. Thank you for coming back. So I'm going to be doing an energy report, energy update. Let me just finish burning. I've missed the smell of Palo Santo. I really, really have. So, I asked the energies what this reading is going to be about, and I'm hearing changes coming, and it's coming in hot. Okay, so there's going to be some intense things going on for many of us on a personal level and probably on a global scale as well. So let me just pull some cards. Shuffling, shuffling. How was your guys' weekend? Everyone have a good weekend? We had that 4/4 portal and hoping that everyone utilized that opportunity to bring in really, really amazing energy. Hope you utilized it for your greatest good. And if you weren't aware there was a portal, perfectly fine. Don't worry about it. You got the 5/5 portal coming up. And yes, there's a portal every month. Opens every month. So we have the 5/5 portal, 6/6 portal, 7/7 portal, and so on. Some portals are more intense than others, like the 8/8 Lionsgate portal. That one's a very intense one. What? Oh, this one? What? This one. Okay. Almost done, guys. All right, here goes. So again, we get the delight card. It's time for us to begin really, really shifting the way we see the events of our lives. Okay. Many, many, many of us have a tendency. Many of us have a tendency to see learning opportunities as nothing more than a painful thing. It's such a struggle. It's a pain in the ass. Why is life not fair? You can continue to choose to see the events of your life in that way, but it's not going to serve you. It's not. It's going to lock you into that moment and continue your struggle. It's going to perpetuate your participation in a mindset that actually detracts from your growth. So, this is not about us pretending everything is just awesome, peaches and cream, rose-colored glasses, and yeah. No. Like, you're allowed to get upset, but don't stay there. Seek out the delights of life, okay? Card number 40, darkness. Ooh, we have entered a dark phase within our own consciousness. We've also entered a dark phase within the collective whole's journey back home. So if you are partaking in that doom and gloom, apocalyptic, this is the time of revelations, blah, blah, blah. Know that humanity are like rabbits. It's damn near hard to exterminate rabbits from what I hear. I've never tried to exterminate a rabbit, but they reproduce very quickly. They're very fast. And yeah, that's going to be really hard to do. We're not going anywhere, guys. Okay? Humanity is here to stay. We're like here to stay. Ooh, that's a different coffee bean. I can tell. Okay, card number 20, higher ground. Now, there's a common misconception for those who practice spirituality. Gosh, I'm not gonna I'm not gonna mince words. Spirituality is a new religion. It's the new religion. It's the new science. It's the new cult that we're in. Spirituality, oftentimes people will use spirituality as a way to guilt others, to control others. And then they tell you, take the higher ground, meaning just let it go, let them treat you however. Am I saying that you should attack anyone who is possibly attacking you? No. When I say higher ground, when I look at this card, the energy this card tells me from a tactical point of view, when you have higher ground, you have the advantage. When you recognize you are standing on higher ground, you know you could shoot down into anything. Okay? You have a better viewpoint, you have better ability to aim and shoot, all of that. So, do you need to go to war just because you're on higher ground? No. You can recognize that I will see whatever it is they're trying to do before they actually get a chance to do it. So, I don't need to be afraid. I have the ability and the positioning to defend myself if need be. That's that. There's nothing wrong with defending yourself. Defending yourself is not the same as getting defensive. Okay? Defensiveness comes from a lack of confidence in yourself. You think someone else is going to come and just completely obliterate you, so you get defensive. Attack before you get attacked. Defending yourself is quite different. Defending yourself is exercising your right to choose whether or not you want to engage and them not respecting what you've chosen. So now you have to take action and show them through action what they refuse to hear within the words. Huge difference. Huge difference. And I'm really making it a point from now on to distance myself from the whole spirituality thing, because I'm not going to participate in that. I'm not going to participate in yet another system of control, shame, guilt, separation. Just no. I'm going back to my roots. I'm a stay-at-home mom. I'm a Sam. I'm a stay-at-home mom. That's what I am. So there's potential in each of us, okay? There is a potentiality that has not been acknowledged. And as woke as you think you are, excuse me, had to burp that out because sounds like a lot of hot air. Yeah. No, keep digging. Don't focus on anyone else. Focus on yourself. As deep as you thought you've dug, you haven't even scratched the surface. This applies to me as well. As much as I thought I evolved and developed, every single time I go through a cycle of ascension, I recognize I'm nowhere near breaking the surface of who and what I am. I'm still surface level. As deep as people might see me to be, no, boo boo. I know I'm still surface level. I know much of my abilities I still have not fully explored, much less acknowledged. I'm not exploring anything because I'm not ready to even acknowledge much of it. And it's okay for me to be there. I'm not competing with anyone, not even the me of yesterday, because there's that saying, compete with none except the you were yesterday. I'm not even competing with a me yesterday. I'm telling the me yesterday, thank you for all the things you've shown me in that day and helping me to prepare for new lessons tomorrow. Okay. So, card number 17, self reflection. It's time for you to begin reflecting on how you've been trying to usher in the changes of your life. Much of us don't realize we're trying to usher in a change based on someone else's perception of their interpretation of a message for the collective. Let the gravity of that really, really, really just percolate in the heat of your water. Make yourself some spiritual coffee so you can truly wake the fuck up. Seriously, this is not about being able to claim that you're woke. This is about waking up your senses. Let that really sink in as well. Okay. God gosh, I want so badly to share with you guys this message that I got this morning. It's such a potent message, but let me see. No, well, if the person gives me permission later on, they haven't seen my message asking if I could share it. But if they give me permission later on, I'll post it on all my social media because it's such a potent moment of self-realization. Potent, potent, potent moment of self-realization. Card number 25, keep your dreams alive. So many of us are having really, really intense dreams at this point. These intense dreams have a lot to do with guidance from soul. Not all of us are having precog dreams. Granted, yes, not all of us are having precog dreams, but many of us are. Okay. These are dreams that are telling you of the intensity that's coming. It's not necessarily apocalyptic. I will repeat that again. It's not necessarily apocalyptic. These are guidance messages from soul. Okay. Soul is trying to encourage you to keep moving forward in a specific way, in a specific direction. It's attempting to help you navigate through this messy period. Birth is messy. We are rebirthing ourselves. So stay open, okay? Be open to the aspects of yourself, your truth that are rising up. The moon often signifies the parts of us that we keep very deeply hidden, the parts of us that we feel ashamed, guilty for existing. There's no need for that. There really is no need for that. Our perception of perfection, our perception of success, our perception of all these other things that help us to know that we're good people, those are very, very distorted views. Very distorted views because of the society, the matrix we exist within. Much of what we take as normal and natural really is not. It really, really, really is not. I'll take it so far as to say that our even our food choices, our dietary choices, preferences, have a tendency to be very unnatural. It's unnatural for you to force yourself to eat only specific types of foods because of spirituality. You eat what your body needs. Okay? You're supposed to eat what your body needs. Now, I'm not going to tell you what to eat. You have to listen to what your body needs, but there's so much distortion that exists to create shame and guilt. Like if you eat specific certain types of foods, you're part of the reason why the world is suffering. I don't think so. I don't think so. There are more sustainable and more ethical options within those food groups. And it would be nice if you could select more ethical and sustainable options. But let's be real here. Everyone is being crushed by the weight of debt, personal as well as national debt. We can't all have the luxury of affording those more ethical and sustainable options. What's important is you work within what you have and address what you need. This is about recognizing your needs are just as important as the needs of the whole because you are a part of the whole. You absolutely are part of the whole. If you look at the human body, it's composed of so many different types of cells in so many different regions with so many different functions, just like humanity. Does the air that you breathe only go to certain cells? Does the blood that you bleed only go to certain cells? It's like, no, you're not worthy today, pinky toe. We're just going to let you die. I don't think so. I don't think so. You messed up, pinky toe. You hit the furniture. You caused us pain. You don't get any sustenance today. I don't think so. And that's how humanity needs to begin seeing itself as a whole being. Each of us serves a function. Each of us. Okay. And then people like to say, well, the cabal, The Illuminati. Okay, you know, they're still a part of the whole. I'm not saying show mercy or leniency. I'm saying recognize they're still part of the whole. They are a projection of an intensified internal circumstance within each of us. They're a projection of that. Is it our fault that they're, no, it's not our fault, but we need to begin recognizing that we're trying to heal ourselves from the inside out. So instead of focusing on known irritants, known cancers, tumors, malignant growths within society, we have to first address our spiritual nutrition, because nutrition plays such a crucial role when it comes to the development and sustaining maintenance of these malignancies. If we keep consuming the pre-packaged, processed, heavily processed things that society is trying to force feed us, we will continue to feed the growth. Let that really, really just swim around in your head. Try and really see what it is that I'm talking about right now. We keep feeding into the processed foods that contain the carcinogens, that feed the cancer. Yet we're pissed off that there's cancer. And if you think, just like with modern science, modern medicine, allopathic medicine, where you're just going to cut that cancer out, oftentimes what ends up happening when you cut into a growth, you are releasing some of that into the bloodstream and allowing it to grow, break off and grow somewhere else. And if you think, well, we'll just hit it with chemo. If you look at a lot of the research, and I'm not bashing anyone who's opted for chemo or radiation, you have every right as a sovereign to choose for yourself what kind of medical treatment you will allow for yourself. But you will see much of the people, many of the people who accept chemo and radiation, it may fix the cancer right now, and put you into remission. But couple years down the line, it usually initiates an even worse cancer. And there's a lot of literature online that will show this. I'm not talking about memes. I'm talking about medical studies. Okay. So you really have to understand what you're partaking in. All of us have been partaking in something that has caused disease within our communities. So we can't keep saying it was them, it was them, it was them. No, you allowed them. You said, here you go, here's the keys to the city, pillage it. But, it's not my fault because you did that. No, I gave you the key, though. I gave you the key. You know what I'm saying? I gave you the key. So card number 18, pleasure. We can keep focusing on the negative, or we can, again, acknowledge the negative, acknowledge the things that we as individuals and as societies are struggling through. And once we have acknowledged what the problem is, we then need to begin shifting back into the positivity. Positivity, the truth of positivity, is not that love and light bullshit that's being peddled around. It's not about, I'm just going to keep my vibe high. First off, high vibration equals low frequency. That means you're densifying your consciousness. You're making it more dense. You're lowering it. Instead of expansion, you're pulling things back to you. That's from a lacking mindset, and it creates blockages. Okay? It creates blockages. You believe me if you want. You could say I'm full of shit if you want. Makes no difference to me. Your reality is not my own. But I do encourage you to open your heart. Okay? Open your heart to the truth as you see it. That's going to be different for everyone. Just because I see something as a truth doesn't mean you will. And that's okay. That's the beautiful thing about sovereignty. The need and the ability to respect other people's decisions for themselves. I've said this before, so many people who partake in a spiritual movement, they feel everyone should be on the same page, reading the same words of the same book. The whole point of spirituality in its original form, before it became something profitable, it was to just make sure all of us were literate 88% at 8:30. It's making sure all of us can read for ourselves, not making sure we all are exercising our ability to memorize and regurgitate. Let that sink in. Okay? Let that sink in. Stop trying to simply sound spiritual, look spiritual. Actually allow yourself to exist in spirit, to exist here in this moment. We're not going to focus on things in the past. We're not forgetting the past, because you need to remember the past, because the past can directly affect your future. But we're not going to sit there in the past, nor are we going to fixate on our perception of a potentiality in the future, because those are not guaranteed. They're not guaranteed. So why are you going to fixate on something that you don't know what the outcome is going to be? You don't know the details. You don't know the timeline. You can pretend to know. You can really convince yourself that you know. That's up to you. But I found it's a waste of time. It's a waste of time, because for my personal journey, about 97 to 98% of the time when I figure out timelines, which I'm really good at that. I'm so fucking good at that. Timelines and potentialities, the details within the details of those potentialities, the pathways that lead to those potential circumstances. I'm so fucking good at that. And 97, 98% of the time, when I really commit to what I figured out, everything shifts and that doesn't come to play. Nope. Nope. But when I allow things to flow and like, oh, okay, that's a potential. We'll see. We'll see if that happens. But 97, 98% of the time, it does happen. It does. Because what ends up happening within you, this change that's occurring, whether you know it or not, there is a part of your human consciousness. And this part is just a fucking naughty ass toddler, okay? Naughty ass toddler. It will resist. It will try and create different potentiality. And if you're not aware of the way your mind functions, you've just shifted your trajectory. Because yes, fear exists for a reason. And if you fear that potential, you can and often will avoid it. That's just how the human mind functions. It's how it functions. And unless you know how to shift that function, that's how it's going to work. And most people don't even realize that function exists. It's like that button in a new car. You don't know what the fuck it does, but you want to press it. What's it do? I don't know. Let's press it. Just like a toddler. Okay. So change is coming. It's coming in hot. It's something that unless you're prepared for the potentiality of being burned, you're probably going to get burned. You're probably going to get burned by this change. If you want to stick your head in the sand, be prepared for the heat of this change to melt the sand and turn it into glass and forever lock your stuck mode. You're going to be stuck. You're really seriously going to be stuck. Is that something to be afraid of? I don't know. I'd like to say no, but I'm not you. Most people, when they become caged, when they become cognitive of the cage they're being confined by, they either become like a rabid little spider monkey or they completely shut down. Just like when you trap a rabbit, it's like, oh my God, I'm dead. Okay. So figure out which kind of person you are. And I mean, I think both options aren't really good options, but that's just me. I would prefer to exist outside of the box rather than sitting in the box and just trying to make sure that I'm paying attention for just in case they put a lid on and tape the box shut. Yeah, I mean, that's how most people are functioning. Well, I'll just sit in the box and, I'll pay attention. I'll pay really close attention. And when I see them coming with the lid, I'll jump out. Okay. Okay. That sounds like a plan for you. Not for me. I'm not sitting in that fucking box. No. I don't care if I can pay attention. I'm not sitting in that box. I'm not giving you an upper hand because That box has high walls and I might not see that coming. So I'd rather get out of the box and stay on that grassy knoll where I have higher ground than you and I can see whatever you're going to try and do and I can respond accordingly, not just react, respond, meaning a calculated decision as to how to handle whatever is coming my way. But I guarantee you, I will allow myself to have the greatest potentiality of seeing the widest amount. And maybe it's time for you guys to choose that for yourself as well, or maybe not. It's completely up to you. It really is completely up to you. I'm not going to tell you how to do your spirituality. I'm not going to tell you how to live your life. I'll share with you my thoughts for myself, how I'm choosing to proceed for myself. And you decide what you want to do with that information. You can take it in, you can reject it, whatever works for you. Like my husband likes to say, because we watched Joe Coy quite a bit, rice is rice. I don't know if you guys have seen his jokes, but he's hilarious. So hopefully this gives whoever needed this message whatever nuggets you needed in order to make the decisions you need to make. But at the end of the day, only you can make those decisions and only you can put those decisions into action. Okay? Change is coming. It's coming in hot. Put on your hot gear. Okay? Put on your hot gear so you don't get unnecessary burns. Don't worry too much. Allow yourself to feel empowered. Allow yourself to actually see what's happening within you and around you. These messages come at so many different levels for so many different layers of our being and consciousness. And you're the only one that can decide what message applies to what region within yourself and around yourself. All right. So please give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please do subscribe, turn on that notification bell. Join me every single time I'm live. I will try and be live again later on to do some ClairTarot readings for the zodiac signs. And you guys, this is what happens when you try and be cute and cut baby hairs that you know you're not going to maintain. See that? Okay, that's what happens. It's cute anyways. Bye, guys.